Hello everyone, I'm Shivakumar, Department of Pharmaceutics in Sri Shanmugha College of Pharmacy. Today we discussed about regulatory requirements for drug approval. First, overview of the drug path. Before a medicine reaches your local pharmacy, it follows a strict path. It starts with drug discovery, moves to development and manufacturing, goes through clinical trials in humans, and finally reaches the marketing application stage. And every single step compliance with the regulatory requirement is absolutely mandatory. Second one, new drug application means NDA. So what is an NDA? A new drug application is a formal request containing all preclinical and clinical test data. It includes full description of manufacturing procedures, and once the agency receives it, there are three possible outcomes. One is approval, another one approvable, and third one not approvable. Next one, drug development teams. The drug development team is the process of bringing a lead compound from the discovery phase to the market. This is the not a quick process. It typically takes 10 to 12 years and requires deep collaboration between many scientific disciplines. Next one, the responsibilities of these project teams include reviewing experimental results from various scientific fields, integrating new findings with old data, planning future studies to characterize the drug, creating detailed development plans with timelines and critical paths, monitoring progress and adjusting plans as new info arrives, keeping an eye on competitors to see how their drug candidates compare. And next one, drug development team responsibilities. Plan and coordinate research studies to further characterize drug candidates, integrate new research findings with existing data, prepare and manage detailed drug development plans, including milestones, timelines, and critical path, review experimental results, monitor ongoing research progress, and update plans based on new data, compare development progress and outcomes with competitor drug molecules. Next one, new drug approval process. The approval process generally follows two phases. One is clinical trial phase, another one marketing authorization phase. First, non-clinical studies ensure by basic safety. Then an application is submitted to start human trials, means phase 1 to phase 4, to check for dosage and efficacy. If the benefits outweigh the risks, it gets marketing approval. Even after approval, post-marketing surveillance continues. The post-marketing service continues to monitor the drug in the general population. Next one, non-clinical drug development. Preclinical trials are laboratory tests usually on animals to see if a treatment is safe enough for humans. We use three main methods. Number one, in silico, computer stimulation. Number two, in vivo, within the living organism. Third one, in vitro, testing in glass. It means test tubes or petri dishes. The goal is to find the candidate with the highest probability of success and a firm safety foundation. Next one, non-clinical drug development. The primary aim of non-clinical development phase are to analyze and determine which candidate has the greatest probability of success, assess its safety, and raise firm scientific foundations before transition to the clinical development phase. Next one, pharmacology. Um, the study of effects of chemical substance on living system. The aspects of drug discovery ranging from details of interaction between drug molecule and its target to consequences of placing the drug in market. Next one, selectivity testing. This includes the selectivity testing. It means binding assays to see if the drug hits the right target. Uh, Next one, pharmacological profiling. It includes determination of pharmacodynamic effects of new compound, either on in vitro models or in vivo models. Next one, safety pharmacology. Safety pharmacology is critical to identify unanticipated effects on major organs that are unrelated to the therapeutic goal. Now, we test these at doses near the intended clinical dose to detect any dangerous side. Next one, toxicological approaches to drug discovery. It means next, acute toxicity. In toxicological studies, we look at acute toxicity in at least two species, usually mice or rats. We use the intended human route plus two other routes to ensure absorption. Scientists observe mortality for 72 hours in parenteral or 7 days means oral and report all microscopic findings. Next one, long-term toxicity. For long-term toxicity, we again use two mammalian species, but one must be a non-rodent. The drug is administered 7 days a week by the intended human route. We prefer species that metabolize the drug similarly to humans. Next, global regulations under FDA, regulatory organization in different countries. In US FDA for United States, for India, CDSCO means Central Drugs Standard Control Organization, and European country, European Agency for Evaluation of Medicinal Products. For Sri Lanka, there are MOH, and the Nepal DDA, Department of Drug Administration. Next one, different types of drug applications that can be submitted to FDA. IND, Investigational New Drug Application, NDA, New Drug Application, ANDA, Abbreviated New Drug Application, and last, BLA, Biologic License Application. The FDA is responsible for protecting the promoting public health. The IND application should provide high quality preclinical data to justify the testing of the drug in humans. Almost 85% of the drugs are subjected to clinical trials for which IND applications are filled. Next one, INDA. In INDA, FDA, in order to start clinical trials in humans, if the drug was found to be safe from the report of preclinical trials. A pre-IND meeting can be arranged with the FDA to discuss a number of issues. One is the design of animal research. Number two, protocol for conducting the clinical trials. Number three, review of the chemistry, manufacturing, and control of the investigational drug. Next, IND application and roles. IND application provides data to justify starting human testing of a new drug. Uh, in focuses on initial human safety and pharmacological activity to ensure a minimal risk in early clinical studies. FDA involvement begins after animal screening for pharmacological activity and acute toxicity. The molecule then gains legal status as a new drug under the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act. The drug becomes subject to specific regulatory requirements of the FDA system. These are the types of IND applications. Investigator IND applications. The investigator IND application is submitted by a physician who both initiates and conducts an investigation under whose immediate direction the investigational drug is administered or dispensed. A physician might submit a research IND to propose studying an unapproved drug or an approved product for a new indication or in a new patient population. Next, emergency use IND allows FDA to authorize use of an experimental drug in emergency situation, does not allow time for submission for an IND in accordance with 21 CFR. Next, treatment IND submitted for experimental drugs showing promise in clinical testing for serious or immediately life-threatening conditions, while the final clinical work is conducted and the FDA review takes place. Next, law, regulations, policies, procedures. Code of Federal Regulations means CFR. The final regulations published in the Federal Register are collected in the CFR. The CFR divided into 50 titles. These represent broad areas subject to federal regulations. The FDA's portion of the CFR interprets the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act related statutes. Section 21 of the CFR contains most regulations pertaining to food and drugs. Next, investigators brochure. The investigators brochure is a concise comprehension of all clinical and non-clinical data relevant to the human study. It includes physical, chemical properties of the drug, non-clinical pharmacology and toxicology summarizes known effects in humans and the guidance of the investigators. These are the contents. Next one, the NDA. Studies confirm that new drug is relatively safe and effective and will not pose unreasonable risks to patients. The manufacturer files a new drug application, which is actual request to manufacture and sell the drug in. The FDA aims to ensure benefits outweigh risks, and the manufacturing follows good manufacturing practices. They conduct a preliminary review within 60 days of submission. Next, bioequivalence studies. The bioequivalence studies are ensured that different versions of the same drug are clinically equivalent to interchangeable. The bioavailability refers to the rate and the extent of drug absorption. Next one, equivalence. It is a relative term that compares the drug products with respect to a specific characteristic or function or to a defined set of standards. Next one, ANDA. Generic makers don't have to repeat clinical trials. They just have to prove their product is bioequivalent to the original brand new name drug. Next, clinical research protocols. The clinical research protocol is the rule book for the study. It explains the background, objectives, design, statistical methods. And why do we need it? To clarify the research question, decide on study design, address the ethical considerations, and apply for funding. These are the parts of the protocol. Next, management of clinical studies. The clinical trial management is the process used to ensure quality data, minimize the risks, and timely, efficient trial conduct. And them to manage trial sites, clinical research associates, workflows, and timelines using trial management tools or software. The efficient management can significantly reduce clinical trial costs about 60 to 95% without compromising scientific validity. The life cycle of clinical trial project is conceptual, planning, implementation, and analysis. Next one, clinical trial protocol, project management, and CTT. A clinical trial protocol describes the study purpose and the design methodology, statistical considerations, organization, and scientific rationale. Protocol contents are defined by GCP, and writing is usually done by a single person, typically the principal investigator. And all international submissions now follow the common technical document format, which consists of 5 modules. Manufacturing, importing, or conducting clinical trials requires approval from the licensing authority through a formal applications. Thank you.